Hi guys, so recently I remade Captain America Comics number 1. Someone wanted me to remake the other stories in that comic. I only read the first story in the other video, so I'll just put the other stories in just this one big long video. But Captain America by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. What connection was there between the wave of sabotage that swept the U.S. defense industries and the strange little man who predicted it would happen? No man but Captain America could solve the riddle. It's the Captain and I against all enemies of liberty.
Get your tickets now. Just 10 cents to see Sando and Omar predict the future.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, my partner Omar shall perform the impossible. We shall predict the future. Two pairs of eyes meet and lock. Dwarfed Omar seems to vibrate under their terrific strain. Think, Omar. Think hard. Tell us what is to come. Think. Think, Omar. Think hard. The audience is held spellbound by the weird performance.
Gee, look at that. Wonder if he can do it.
Can't tell yet, but this future stuff gives me the jitters. Very good, Omar. Now tell us what you see.
Things getting clearer now. A terrible accident is about to happen at Fort Bix.
And, at that very instant, during war maneuvers, Fort Bix is shaken by a terrific blast.
I'd never believe it.
And just 2 seconds ago, Fort Bix was blown to pieces, in a most mysterious manner. No word of how. Private Rogers and Bucky read the news. Seems mighty strange. Eh, Bucky? Yeah. This Omar and Sando act sounds like a phony to me.
Let's say we go down and see it in person.
Okay by me, soldier. They say these guys can actually read the future. I wouldn't miss this for the world. In his dressing room, Sando shakes off the mob of reporters. You have to see it for yourselves, gentlemen, in our next act. Among the audience, waiting for the show to begin, are Steve Rogers and Bucky. I still think they're a couple of fakes. Shh, they're starting now. Once more the weird performance is repeated, as glaring eyes lock, and Omar's mind strives to pierce the future. Think, think, think.
I see a bridge. The Hilltown Bridge. It's thick with traffic. The bridge is going to collapse.
While all the attention is drawn to the stage, Private Steve Rogers and Bucky slip into a corner. Hurry, Bucky! No time to lose! Let's go! Maybe there's still time. Right! At that instant, a thunderous explosion from the outside, and Captain America knows that he is too late to prevent the disaster. The theater buzzes with excitement as Captain America and Bucky turn back to find Sando and Omar. Gangway! Let's see what Omar has to say to Captain America. Just a minute, crystal gazers.
Who are you?
I'll ask the questions, mister.
How did you know the bridge was going to topple? Speak up!
Suddenly, Omar makes a quick dash for the door.
Come back here, you runt!
And then he punches him.
Sorry, Sando, but I can't let you get away. A woman's shrill cry for help causes Captain America to whirl about. That scream came from Sando's dressing room. That's funny. The room is quiet and dark. As Captain America enters the darkened room, the lights suddenly go on.
Come in, Captain America.
We've been expecting you. Well, well, if I haven't stumbled into a skunk's nest. In another corner of the room, Bucky and a beautiful but familiar girl are helplessly gripped by two burly Nazis.
Betty Ross is the name, Captain. It seems we both have an interest in the same case. Ain't she pretty, Cap?
Just then, the door opens again, and Sando enters, nursing an aching jaw.
You'll pay for that blow, Herr Captain America, with slow torture.
So you're one of the Fuhrer's flunkies, eh, Sando?
The name is Von Kratz, and I plan a chain of disasters that will destroy the morale of your whole country. I've been investigating this ring for the government. Poor idiotic Omar is Von Krantz's tool. The Gestapo plans the explosions, and Von Krantz and Omar predict them.
That's all I want to know. Let's go, Bucky.
I gotcha, Cap.
Captain America and Bucky attack with the ferocity of twin tornadoes. Suddenly, the battered Von Krantz raises himself from the floor, and...
Now you will breathe your last, Herr Captain. I'm going to blast us all to bits. Woo! Gimme that!
Nice work, Bucky. This finishes Von Krantz and his boys. Keep Krantz covered till the FBI arrives.
Yes, but wait. You can't go. I want to thank you.
Perhaps some other time.
Good night, Miss Ross.
Captain America and Bucky disappear into the night, leaving behind them a wrecked spy ring and a puzzled girl. And there's the second story, or the third story technically, which is a text story. It says, Captain America felt himself crushed in a vise-like grip. Beware Nazi spies, beware fifth columnists, beware all enemies of the USA, beware the wrath of Uncle Sam's secret agent, the mythical Captain America. Captain America and the Soldier's Soup. The cold, stark rays of an autumn moon gleamed down on the great tent city. Uncle Sam's Selective Service boys were asleep. Sharp, deep shadows fell everywhere. An eerie, unreal quiet hung over the white mounds, like a ghastly foreboding of terrible things to come. Private Rogers stirred uneasily in his cot. His hand mechanically slid over the bed next to him. He was reassured. His young admirer, Bucky, lay there, sound asleep. The soldier turned noiselessly on his cot, smilingly remembering that Bucky was there because a kind-hearted colonel of an indulgent government just could not let such devotion as Bucky's go unrewarded. With a start, Rogers sat bolt upright. He knew now why he had awakened. He missed the steady tread of the century. He listened. His every nerve tensed like a well-strung tennis racket. No sound came to him, only the steady breathing of his boy pal. Convinced that there was some mischief afoot, he leaped from his cot. Behind a clump of bushes, almost completely hidden by the inky shadows, Roger's eagle-sharp eye came upon the slumped body of the sentry, dead. He straightened up to his full 6'3", a defiance blazing in his deep blue eyes, that swore an undying vengeance for the murder of his fallen comrade. He disappeared into his tent. In the twinkling of an eye, another emerged. It was the mythical Captain America. He whose deeds were the toast of the army, from the office of the Secretary of War to the lowliest outpost in the steaming jungle of the far-off Philippines. He stood for a moment, framed against the white of the tent, a resplendent figure in tight-fitting suit of old glory, the nervous ripple of his tremendously powerful muscles plainly visible under their red, white, and blue covering. Two shadowy figures were sneaking along the great cookhouse, among giant cookpots that looked like monster kettle drums, at attention.
"You conked that century guy too hard,"
whispered Slinky, squinting his one eye hard at his partner.
"You didn't have to kill."
"Freeze up that chatter,"
nervously interrupted the Crusher.
"If I croaked them, so what? When we gets this soup flavored up, there'll be plenty of guys that'll join 'em."
He gurgled a half-laugh and continued.
"That's what soldiers is for, ain't they? To die."
"This it is,"
announced Crusher, as he swung back the oversized lid of one of the giant pots, and played the rays of his pencil flash on the gray-brown thickish liquid within.
"Soup," says the Baron.
He chuckled.
"And soup it is."
He unscrewed the cap from a small bottle, held it over the kettle, but hesitated. As though pronouncing a benediction, he leered.
"As the executioner says to the guy on the hot seat when he throws in the switch, pardon me for going through you."
Like a horizontal meteor, Captain America was upon him. The bottle with its death-dealing fluid slithered harmlessly to the far end of the great room. With an ugly, guttural oath, the Crusher recovered from his surprise and stealthily circled in on the captain. His short but immensely broad, thick build did not belie his nickname. He made a quick dive at the soldier, but his powerful arms closed around thin air. The lithe, much faster man had easily eluded the clumsy lunge. In passing, the captain laid one on the button of the gangster that should have felled an ox. But Crusher only stood there shaking his head, and swinging his long flail-like arms like a cornered standing grizzly. A shrill yell from Bucky, who must have followed his pal, warned Captain America just in time. He whirled, dodging, as an evil-looking dirk whistled past him, its flight wind plainly audible to his super-sensitive ears. This one split second off guard was exactly what the gorilla was hoping for. Captain America felt himself crushed in a vise-like grip. The Crusher bent him backward, fiendishly grinning into his pain-racked face the while. The soldier's breath was cut off. His lungs were bulging as though to explode. The blood pounding in his ears sounded like pistol shots. Tighter and tighter did the Crusher's embrace become. In desperation, the captain summoned all his pent-up breath into one blast, and blew it smack into the gangster's eyes. Rasping out an oath of surprise, Crusher slackened his hold the tiniest bit. Collecting all his strength for one last-ditch effort, Captain America brought up his right knee sharply, and broke away from the death hold. After that, things happened with lightning rapidity. Slinky had a blackjack poised over the captain's head when Bucky jumped right into the crook's face from off a tabletop. Both went down in a heap of thrashing arms and legs, enlivened by some choice cussing on Slinky's part. Captain America landed 2 long-shot punches on the Crusher's jaw, and a third, smack on the button, sent that worthy representative of the underworld into dreamland. Really fighting mad by now, the captain hit Slinky one that nearly tore the lone-eyed bird's head off. Soldiers swept pell-mell into the cookhouse. One thought he saw the mythical suit of Captain America disappearing through a window, but his buddies advised him to change the brand. Next morning, the papers carried one headline: "Saboteurs try to poison entire army post." The whole post was standing at attention. The colonel was telling of the near crime of the previous night, for the sentry had not been killed, merely severely stunned. A confession had been forced from one of the 2 killers, and the entire gang was now under lock and key.
"And to think,"
were the colonel's concluding words,
"that it is to the matchless bravery of Captain America that we all owe our lives. And who is this unknown hero? Who knows? He may be right here among us."
The colonel looked sharply at Private Rogers. He could have sworn that he had seen the soldier wink at little Bucky. So here's the 4th story. Captain America by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Weird horror struck at army officers, whose wooden images were jumped on the Nazi chessboard. But Captain America made an unexpected move. In a secluded section of town, a weird figure approaches a chessboard.
"So, Admiral Perkins is giving a lecture tonight, eh? What an ideal night for a chess game. You're an important man, my dear Admiral. Too important for my cause. Too bad you must depart from your friends so abruptly. Even though you are a capable man, Admiral Perkins, I am your superior. You will never lecture tonight, for I am removing you from the game. Admiral Perkins will die tonight."
In an adjoining room, hard-faced foreign agents listen intently to a shortwave set.
"Admiral Perkins will die tonight. The job's for you, number 15 and 3.
Yeah, her chameleon. But we never see Rathcorn's face."
"Fool! Of course you never see him. But the time will come when all America will bow down before him, before the Führer of the new regime."
Time for the lecture, and military figures flocked to the important session.
Gee, I never liked these old meetings anyway.
Now, Bucky, that's no way to talk. Admiral Perkins is one of the country's leading men. We can learn something from him.
But I want to go out and chase crooks and...
Shh! The Admiral's coming on now.
The Admiral's acting mighty strange.
This all says the curtain parts and...
Looks like something terrible has happened. He's dead!
In another moment, the lecture hall is thrown into a seething turmoil of angry fighting men.
"Someone get the dirty killer!"
Lynch him! Lynch him!
But anyway, come on, Bucky. That killer certainly isn't going to wait around here.
There he is! He's getting away!
Since this is America's problem, let's see what Captain America can do. In a lightning change, Private Rogers becomes the thrilling nemesis of spies and crooks. Captain America. All set, sonny boy? Let's go.
Wow!
Think you can handle a man's job, Bucky, my lad?
Sure I can. What do you think I am? A baby?
Then after him. You stick around. I'm going aloft. Even as Bucky prowls through the darkened alleys, he is watched by the lurking killer.
What's this? I'm being trailed by a kid.
I thought I heard a noise.
What the?
Take that, you young whelp.
Missed me.
2 killings in one night. Oh, I'll be decorated for this.
My kingdom for a BB gun.
Looking for decorations, eh? A powerful figure leaps from the night. Here's a medal. You'll have a hard time pawning. If you enjoy life at all, you'll start talking. Fast.
My kind never talks.
Now, isn't that just too bad? This calls for a little tightening of the windpipe.
No, attack!
Suddenly, the roar of an automatic splits the still night air. The Nazi agent slumps in death as Captain America wards off a deadly hail of bullets.
What are we waiting for?
Killed by his own men. There they go, Bucky. 3 of them.
Too late! We'll never catch them now.
The only thing left is to return to camp as Private Rogers and regiment mascot Bucky. Let's go, kid. Meanwhile, back at Rathcone's hideout and the chessboard.
One less military genius to block my path to dictatorship. At this rate, I'll even rule the fatherland. Let me see. I'll nimbly jump the figure of General Ellsworth. He too must be removed. General Ellsworth will die tonight. General Ellsworth will die tonight.
Well, Herr Strangler, or rather number 13, your turn has come to serve the fatherland.
I will give the general a special treatment.
That same night, in a U.S. Army camp.
Making a swell evening of it, huh, Rogers?
I think I could do worse.
And you're gonna do worse. You're on special duty at General Ellsworth's hut. So get moving.
That's funny. Just because Ellsworth comes down here for inspection, they put a sentry on his front door.
Maybe he walks in his sleep. Looks like the general's had a hard day.
Yeah, we'll drop in and tell him we're on duty. The 2 friends stare in horror as the sight that greets their eyes.
Steve! Look!
And right in our own camp. General Ellsworth lies slumped on his table, his last agony mirrored in his sightless, staring eyes. The next day, newspapers announce to America another brutal killing in the ranks of the nation's military command. Mystery killer strikes again. New outrage angers nation. General Ellsworth slain. Murders lain to saboteurs. G-men hard-pressed for action.
The time is ripe for invasion. I'll have the American public begging for mercy on its knees before I'm through. Gas, tanks, planes. 100 or 1,000 weapons to whip them into submission.
An iron hand such has never been seen. But first, 2 pieces must be removed from the board. On the other hand, I have a far better plan. I'll let them witness their own downfall. They shall see themselves removed. Attention, all of you. I want Captain America and that young brat brought to headquarters. Alive.
I got it, Chameleon. We get the boy, and Captain America will follow. Yeah?
Yeah, her strangler. But none of your special treatment. Rathcon wants them alive.
Ike, that is too bad. I wanted so much to twist his young neck.
Later, back at camp, Bucky fails to notice a menacing shadow.
What the?
Quiet. I would like to talk with you.
And if I follow your directions, you mean I'll actually find the guy that's been doing the killing?
Yeah. Only you go alone. Remember.
That night, Bucky quietly approaches a shabby building. I wonder if that big lug was spoofing me. Wow! The door closed on me. The wind, I guess. In moving pictures, these stairways always lead to something exciting. Think I'll stroll down and see what's what. Not realizing that he's walking into a trap, the courageous youth descends to the bottom of the stairs. My, a recreation parlor, no less. An eerie voice breaks the silence. What in blue blazes? A miniature of Captain America and me. Foolish boy. Don't touch that chessboard. Who are you? My associates call me Rathcon. But one day your country will refer to me as its dictator. Come, my lad. Join me in a pleasant game of chess. Nothing doing, mister. I'm getting out of here. On the run. Escape is useless, you little fool. Trip me, eh? That will never do. You dare show defiance to Rathcon? Once more I am the victor. How I yearn for the moment when my chessboard is wiped clean of all who stand in my path. Let's see. I can either kill the boy at once or wait for his more capable companion. That's it. I'll wait for Captain America. Then a double killing. Meanwhile, back in camp, Private Rogers returns to his tent. Bucky! Bucky! What's this? A note? Sorry to hog all the fun, chum, but I'm going to the deserted house on Peak Street. I'm bringing home a killer. Bucky. Deserted house on Peak Street. I should have known that'll be a typical killer's hideout. No more time for routine stuff. From now on, they'll answer to Captain America. Later, Captain America makes a call on Peak Street. What a perfect hangout for foreign agents. Here's where I settle a few accounts for Uncle Sam. But another watches the approach of the daring crime fighter.
Here comes her Captain American fella. I give him special treatment.
No, you don't. Rat.
I'll tear you apart with mine bare hands.
I call this one the sleeper. And it usually works. Tweet, 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 tweet. So he's knocked out.
Hands up, Mr. Snooper, and keep them there. Won't you step in, said the spider to the fly, and be quick about it.
This place is jammed with pleasant surprises. What's next on the menu?
Skip it, Cap. Go to work on that bum.
Hello, Busky. You rascal. I thought I'd find you here.
I hope you enjoy your surprise. Unfortunately, our reckless friend is helpless. However, I'll allow him to sit in for a game of chess. It's a favorite pastime of mine, you know.
Well, I'll be. So you've used us for chessmen.
Exactly. And when the board is wiped clean, I'll launch the mightiest blitzkrieg the world has yet seen. It's quite obvious I have the two of you trapped. And now to remove you for good.
You! Now you've got my dander up. Quick as lightning, Captain America's foot lashes out. Just a gentle tap to silence him.
Hurry, Cap. The others are coming.
What makes you think they're coming?
They've a microphone in the chandelier. The gang listens to it for orders.
Well, I'll be.
See? I told you so.
If I'd known we had an audience, I might have sung a few numbers. Rathcone's henchmen surge toward Captain America.
Kill the Yankee swine!
It's loose. Not a second too soon. Another account settled for Uncle Sam.
Cap! I need help! Quick!
Bucky! Let him have it, Fritz! At the far side of the room, Bucky stares death in the face. Gangway!
Ach, dat Yankees loaded with dynamite!
Drop that penknife.
Woo, that sure was close. Boy, look at Cap go to work on those spies.
This needs a finishing touch. Meanwhile, Rathcone revives and dashes from the room.
You forgot one, Cap. You'll never get me, Captain America.
You can't get away that easy, Rathcone, old Fuhrer.
Break up my plans, eh? Take that!
Oh! Didn't think that love tap would stop me, did you? Now what?
Hey, Captain, take a look. How do you like this for sizing up a country?
Plans and locations. Every military and industrial center in North and South America. Leave everything here while we call the FBI. It's time for us to clear out. Yes, that's right. We've got Rathcone and his entire spy ring. They'll wait. They're fast asleep. The news. Saboteurs smashed in raid. Little is known of a mysterious Captain America, who was supposed to have subdued the entire gang with the aid of a boy companion. Their night's work done, the two friends fade into darkness. Put on your dress uniform, Bucky. Major Fields has just invited us to attend another lecture.
What? That's all I wanted to read to you, Rogers. Just to show what this man's army needs. Wish I knew who this Captain America is.
So that was at Army headquarters. So he's talking to him, but yeah. So this is the final story. This is the first appearance of the Red Skull, but it's not the main Johann Schmidt Red Skull. It's an American named George Maxson. The real Red Skull, the main one, I think appears in the next issue. I've already read that. I think I read like the first 5 issues of Captain America. If you want me to redo that,
just to let me know in the comments down below. But Captain America and the Riddle of the Red Skull by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. So I'm not going to give, because he's not German, I'm not going to give this Red Skull an or German accent. I'm not going to give him a German accent because it's not the main Red Skull. But a car pulls to a halt on Lower Broadway. But Major, are you sure you won't need me anymore tonight? Poppycock, go back to camp, Rogers. I'm in no danger. Just a prank, Rogers. There's no such person as the Red Skull. Good night. But, sir, the card from the Red Skull.
Maybe the Major's right. After all, no one has ever seen this Red Skull.
I still feel that something's going to happen. While back at the Major Croy's home.
Now for something to read. Ah, this will do.
Thought I heard a noise. Nerves going back on me again. Good evening, my dear Major.
What? No! No! Don't! You're choking me!
The terrible face draws nearer. Wide, hypnotic eyes gaze deep into the Major's.
Stare into my eyes, Major. Look until you see death. Look at death. Look at death. He is the first. There will be others. Yes, many others. To look at death.
Later, the body is discovered, and the police are called in. Yes, officer. And I had a feeling that something was wrong. And you left him at the door? It's funny you can't tell what just killed him. Not funny. Fantastic. It makes me shudder to see his eyes staring into space, as if looking at something unholy. While outside the window lurks the weird killer.
Ha! The stupid police are baffled. Killing the others will be much easier.
Come on, Bucky. It's your bedtime.
I do feel a little sleepy.
He's not looking. On the run. All set, kid? Captain America is going skull hunting.
You bet I am. Let's go.
On second thought, I better handle this alone. Wait here, Bucky.
Gee. Left without me, eh? Okay. I'll look up Mr. Red Skull by myself.
That same night, the Red Skull and his henchmen enter a doorway in an alley.
Keep your eyes open, Slug. We can't take any chances.
Okay, boss.
Of course you realize the main item in overthrowing a government is money.
Yeah.
Precisely. And while I attend to military officials, I want you boys to loot the First National Bank. Death is the penalty if you fail.
Even as the killer spies make their plans, Bucky accidentally discovers their headquarters.
Now, if I can only get away and warn somebody. Whew, that was close. There's a guard posted down there.
What's going on up there? Looks like it's raining dirt.
The battered roof edge crumbles away. Bucky topples down.
Well, I'll be a kid.
Luckily, Bucky lands on his feet and attempts to escape the gangster.
Oh no, you don't. Come back here.
All right, you asked for it.
My leg! Ow! Try your funny stuff on me, will yous? A present for you, boss.
Show the lad in, Slug. I'm surprised you don't know this boy, Slug. He's the capable young partner of Captain America.
What?
He can't be.
Sure I am. What of it?
We better let him go. Eh, boss?
On the contrary, we'll hold him as hostage. Then he shall look through my eye at death.
So there's a knock. Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there?
It's me, you sap. Captain America! Get him, boys!
Help! He's a one-man riot squad!
So you disobeyed my order, eh? You little rascal.
Yeah? But look at the nice party I crashed.
In the midst of the fray, the Red Skull departs through a secret exit.
So they think they're winning, do they?
I'll be back with more murder.
That finishes these babies.
All except Mr. Red Skull, who seems to have left. So I see. Well, it's too late to chase him now. Let's get back to camp. The next day, Captain America once more becomes Private Steve Rogers of the United States Army.
Private Rogers, fall in.
Coming, Sarge.
What's this all about, chum?
Can't say yet. Something about airplane testing.
Squad, halt.
Men, I want you to meet Mr. Maxson of the Maxson Aircraft Corporation. He came in person to watch his new plane take an army test.
Glad to meet you boys.
There she goes.
Good Lord, she's on fire.
Like a flaming comet, the giant bomber streaks earthward. And once again, sabotage has struck at the heart of America.
Oh, dear me. And such a lovely plane, too. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Plane. My eye. What about the men who died in it?
That's enough, Private Rogers. Fall back in line.
Yes, sir. Later, back at camp.
If you think it's sabotage, what are we going to do about it?
We're not doing anything about it, but Captain America will.
Good night, Mr. Maxson. You can rest assured that we'll investigate this accident. Dear, dear, it was nearly too much. I've a weak heart, you know. Good night, General, and rest well. We wouldn't want anything to happen to America's greatest military genius, would we?
Hello, Mildred. Sorry I'm late.
No need to be. I've a surprise. A package came for you today.
Well, well. Wonder who's been playing Santa Claus.
The package is opened, and a terrifying red skull rolls out upon the table.
What the?
This is your last night on Earth, General Manor.
Already death approaches you.
The Red Skull.
Ha ha ha. A flimsy joke, I must say. General Manor.
You!
A gun is useless.
Peer into my eyes, General. Look at death.
No, no.
Ha! Another has met the skull. And lost.
So his list is Major Croy, General Manor, Captain America, and Bucky. And a fifth one, but we can't read. But Mrs. Manor hears the shot, and gun in hand, rushes into the living room.
Hands up! Huh? What have you done to my husband? Oh! Charles! Charles, speak to me! Charles is not speaking to anybody. You red devil! You'll pay for this.
You're wrong. It's America that will pay. Because I'll be master over all.
Don't look at me that way.
Look at you? Ha! My death is only for important people. Footsteps.
Like an angry tornado, Captain America bursts into the room. I thought I heard a shot. What? You got up after that punch?
Blundering fool. I'll have your life for that. There! Take that! He's out cold. Now to get down to business. Weakling, wake up and look into my eyes. Look at death.
Look into my eyes, eh? What kind of a game is this? So thus another figure appears on the scene.
Excuse me, I didn't see you.
What? You little twerp. I'll mangle you. Cap! Cap! Get up! Quick!
Slowly, Captain America regains consciousness. Wow, I must have been hit by a gunboat. Trying to pass me by, eh? Nothing left but the old sleep punch. What?
Can you beat that? The skull was only a false face.
Sure thing. And look who's behind it.
Why, it's Mr. Maxon.
Of Maxon Aircraft, Inc.
A hypodermic. That doesn't make sense.
It makes plenty of sense, Bucky. This is Mr. Red Skull's look of death.
I don't get it.
Your plan was to scare your victims out of their wits, and then inject this poison into them, making believe you kill them with your eyes.
So what?
Just a killer at heart, eh, Skull? Or Maxon? That wrecked plane was your fault, too. It'll take more than you to lick this country. The killer attempts to get his death weapon.
I'm not finished. Just watch.
No, you don't. Sorry, you can't have that. It's state's evidence. The fool! He rolled over the hypo! But you saw it all. Why didn't you stop him from killing himself?
I'm not talking, Bucky. Hello, Federal Bureau of Investigation? This is Captain America. I'm phoning from General Manners' home. Yes. He's dead. Yes. So is his killer, the Red Skull. He committed suicide. Our work is done. Come on, Bucky. Later, the G-men inspect the body of George Maxon, alias the Red Skull.
It's Maxon, all right. But why should the head of an airplane corporation resort to this spy stuff? What's that piece of paper sticking out of his side pocket?
I think this letter will explain the reason for Maxon's terroristic activities.
When America is within the fold of the Greater Reich, the post of Minister of All-American Industry shall be the reward of your excellent spy work, the Führer.
And so ends the bloody career of George Maxon, alias the Red Skull. Back in camp, Privates Steve, Rogers, and Bucky relax in their tent. But the work of Captain America is never done as they plunge into new exploits against America's enemies. Watch for the next issue. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it was like a remake video. Sorry if it wasn't really like original. Like I already made this video, but I hope it's better than the old version. But anyway, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you all for watching.
and I'll see you guys later.